Good morning and welcome to yet another module, another lesson, um, for the English, Kurdish into English module. Previous lesson I talked about, in the previous lesson, I talked about legal vocabularies, but in today's lesson, it'll be something other than those legal vocabularies, and the vocabularies that I'll discuss are disasters. Vocabularies about disasters, and these vocabularies tend to be easy, and well, it's not pretty much a lot of vocabulary. So this is one, this is four, and you have three here. That's seven vocabularies, seven new vocabularies in this passage. And let's see what you can do. Let's see what we can do to get this electronic lesson going. So we have these three words: lafo, larzin, and taqin. Taqin is explosion. Anything that causes explosion, or anything that explodes, is considered as an explosion. So that's taqin. Larzin, that's earthquake. Zilzal, earthquake. Lafo is flood or flooding. If you look at the first sentence, lafo induki afsalat dijwaran, since a student asked me to translate the sentences in these, what do you call them? These slides. I'll do that by all means. لفظ دوك أفصال دجوارا. This year's floods in the city of Duhok are strong, or Duhok has experienced strong floods this year. Okay. Next is beridu solo larzinek الدهوكي ريدا. So beridu solo larzinek الدهوكي ريدا. You would translate you should translate the sentence as 2 years ago Duhok experienced an earthquake. So 2 years ago Duhok experienced an earthquake. Number 3, لافاوان جيانا هجاران ياب آری شکری. لافاوان جيانا هجاران ياب آری شکری. Floods have caused, or floods cause the lives of the poor to be problematic. Although the translation is weak, or you can also say floods have caused the lives of poor to be problematic, which is the same thing. I didn't change anything. Or floods cause many problems in the lives of the poor. Okay? Sorry about that. So تقینک التاخ حمیدیه بو اگر مرنا 4 کسان. تقینک التاخ حمیدیه بو اگر مرنا 4 کسان. An explosion in the Hamidiya neighborhood caused the death of 4 people. Okay, you can say 4 persons. That is also correct, but there is this perspective rule that says if it's singular, you say person. If it's plural, you say people. For me, it doesn't matter because there are actually cases in which you use person in the plural case as well. So تقینا بغدا کارساتکا مزن بو. تقینا بغدا کارساتکا مزن بو. Baghdad's explosion was a major trauma, or a major tragedy, not a trauma, I'm sorry. So Baghdad's explosion was a major tragedy. Kharasat in this case is tragedy. I think we've used it in a class before. So next vocabularies you have برس به بارانی هوا نخوشی درم or babalisk. Sorry about that. So birs is famine. Birs, famine. It's not the kind of hunger that you experience when you haven't had, let's say, lunch for 10 hours. That's not famine. Famine is, or hits countries where there is economic problems or economic disasters, and there is not enough distribution of the resources. These things cause the people to experience famine. Many African countries, unfortunately, experience famine to this day. Next is beboroni, which is drought. Beboroni, drought. Third is epidemic. Funny enough, last year, the word epidemic came up a lot because we only had the flu, influenza, the influenza epidemic. People, because it was winter when we were discussing this lesson regarding to, vocabulary related to things like diseases and also disasters. We discussed epidemic because last year coronavirus was not really in Kurdistan region, but this year it is here. So epidemic tend to be those diseases which spread within a country. They do not go beyond a country. Those are called epidemic. That includes things like the flu, influenza. If it goes across the borders of a country and it goes worldwide, as it happened with coronavirus, it becomes a pandemic. Okay, it becomes a pandemic. So epidemic is for a disease that spreads within a country, uh, progresses within a country, infects every person in the country. And the next is the word, but pandemic is a disease that spreads or infects people worldwide, just like coronavirus. You have tornado. Tornado is bobelisk. Bobelisk. Um, when we say tornado, there's a difference between a tornado and a hurricane. Tornado tends to be started from or starting from an ocean, starting in an area in an ocean, and then um, what you call it, gaining momentum, increasing in power as it approaches other pieces of lands, and as it moves through countries, it destroys properties and also, well, leads to fatalities as well, unfortunately. Hurricane, I think, includes something like a tornado with rain and thunderstorms and so on. That's the difference between tornado and hurricane, but I have to double check my information. And maybe I can, or I could clarify the difference between tornado and hurricane in the classroom. So let's see the first sentence. The first sentence says Bobeliske dar u bar shkanden. Bobeliske dar u bar shkanden. The tornado destroyed the trees. Okay, the tornado destroyed the trees. هوا كان خوش influenza یا بالاوی. A pandemic of the flu has spread. Okay, an epidemic. If I said pandemic, I was wrong because this is within a country. Of course, we're talking about influenza, although it's worldwide. But in this case, it's only we're talking about our country, since we're approaching winter and people are experiencing the flu. This sentence should be translated to "Hawakwana husho influenza balavabui" into an epidemic, or the flu epidemic has spread. Okay, or has spread. The flu epidemic has spread. Next is ببارانی سال 2018. Hey, ببارانی سال 2018 بو اگرش دزدانا میلیونه ها دلاران. Sorry again, if you're wearing headphones, make sure you remove them because I cough every now and then. So ببارانی سال 2018 بو اگرش دزدانا میلیونه ها دلاران. Drought of 2018 caused the loss of millions of dollars. The drought of 2018 caused the loss of millions of dollars. سالانه 2000 بچیک بنا قربانی برسه. سالانه 2000 بچیک بنا قربانی برسه. When I say qurban in this case, I mean death. Unfortunately, sorry for this. Well, it's something which we don't like to hear, but Unfortunately, that's the case. Unfortunately, I say this with a burning heart, as they say, or with a tight chest because of the reality of the matter, unfortunately. So if I translate the sentence, "Salana duzar bishik bina qurbani berse," annually, or 2,000 children become the victims of famine annually. 2,000 children become the victims of famine annually. Annually means on a yearly basis, every year. Final sentence is برسل أفريقيا يا بلافيا. برسل أفريقيا يا بلافيا. Famine is common in Africa. Famine is common in Africa. Um, yes, you can translate it this way, and of course, if you have other methods of translating the sentence, you can do that too. Having translated all these sentences and I've taught you these vocabularies, there will be other vocabularies the next time we meet. I will put, sorry about that again. I will put the passages that I want you to translate on Moodle. Also, remember something important. This year's mid semester exams will start on the 28th of November, so we're not too far away from the date of the commencement of the exams. Make sure you are ready. Make sure you don't have any topics unexplained to you, not explained to you, or you are dumbfounded regarding a topic, whether if it's this topic or any other topics. Please make sure you get ready for the exams, and I wish you good luck for your tests. If you have any questions, please direct your questions to me, either via your class rep, or you can tell me straightforward. Thank you very much for paying attention, and have a very lovely day. Take care.